Winter, and especially Christmas, is a time for ghost stories. As the year ends, the long, dark nights and the cold, bitter air seem to blur the lines between the living and the dead, inviting tales of tormented souls and tragic spirits. And few places capture the eerie allure of the season quite like Cold Christmas. Approached along an unremarkable and at times disappointingly urban path in the Hertfordshire countryside lie the ruins of a 15th century church tower, a ravaged reminder of a past steeped in shadow. This site has become a magnet for those drawn to dark history, supernatural lore, and the unexplainable. Here, where legend lingers like the winter mist, tales abound of restless spirits, demonic apparitions, and heartbreaking loss. From the story behind its unusual name to the paranormal encounters reported by visitors and the damage caused by an antisocial minority, this place offers a potent mix of folklore, history, and sorrow. Come with me as I uncover the stories, the truths, and the fears that make this corner of Hertfordshire a beacon for the brave and the curious alike. Prepare yourself. It's not just the weather that will send shivers down your spine as we visit Cold Christmas Church. Nestled near the A10 in the Hertfordshire countryside, not far from the village of Thundridge and the historic town of Ware, lie the remains of St Mary's and All Saints' Church, also known as Thundridge Old Church and Cold Christmas Church. This site has a rich history dating back to at least 1086, when it was first recorded as the location of a place of worship. Today, the surviving West Tower, constructed in the 15th century, stands as a weathered yet striking testament to the area's medieval past. The churchyard itself is steeped in history, set within an unusually large medieval moated area. Both the grounds and the tower have earned recognition, with the site being a scheduled monument and the tower listed on the National Heritage List for England. Interestingly, the original village of Thundridge was located about half a mile east of the present settlement, near the River Rib. The village name carries a mythic resonance, deriving from the Old English for ridge belonging to the god Thor. Another strand in this tapestry of history was the grand manor known as Thundridgebury, constructed during the reign of King Henry VIII. It served as home to the prominent Hollingsworth family before its eventual demolition in the mid-19th century. Sadly, part of the church was also lost during this period. A survey in 1843 found that the building was unsafe, with rotten beams and cracked walls making it too risky even to ring the bells. A new, better church was built for the congregation. 10 years later, after the nave roof fell in, a faculty was granted for much of the old church building to be taken down, leaving behind the evocative ruins that now haunt the landscape. But why Cold Christmas? It's an unusual name for a place, and there is, of course, a tragic legend attached to it. Long ago, during a bitter December, the parish suffered a spell of such viciously cold weather that nearly all of its children perished. In a time before vaccination and antibiotics, infectious diseases that would be easily treated today had a devastating impact. Poor and without the means for individual burials on such a scale, grieving families were forced to lay their children to rest in an unmarked, common grave in the churchyard. The heartbreak and cruelty of this dreadful misfortune is said to be remembered in the name Cold Christmas. The place carries the weight of this loss even now. Visitors report hearing laboured breathing when no one is near. and the ghostly sounds of children's cries echo from the churchyard. Some even claim to have seen the spectral figures of young children standing in the ruins, their forms flickering in and out of view like candles in a draught. The child ghosts are not the only spirits said to linger at Cold Christmas Church. Eerie hammering sounds have been heard coming from the tower, a structure fenced off, sealed up and intentionally filled with rubble to block access to the interior and the spiral stairs. It is impossible for anyone to be inside. So what could be causing this ghostly pounding? More unsettling still are reports of a deep, guttural growling noise emanating from the ruins. Craig Jones, a paranormal investigator who explored the site one night in 2017, captured this sound, along with a recording of a mysterious voice whispering, "Let me out," before his group was startled by a large rock hurled in their direction by an unseen force. Sudden mists have been reported to roll in over the graveyard without warning, veiling the area in an otherworldly shroud. Witnesses describe seeing strange orb lights, glowing spheres said to be manifestations of energy, floating through the air before vanishing. Others speak of flashing blue and green lights illuminating the ground, accompanied by the faint sound of children's voices and bells carried on the wind. One of the most dramatic accounts of supernatural activity comes from 1978, when a woman walking in the area claimed to see a ghostly army marching out of the tower. The soldiers passed straight through her, leaving her frozen with terror. Reports of ghostly Roman soldiers in the wider region date back to the 1940s, but it's not clear whether this sighting was connected to them or perhaps to a different era, such as the English Civil War. Hertfordshire, after all, declared for Parliament in the 1640s, and the upheaval of war brought death and suffering to the region, and not even churches were safe from atrocities. Exactly the kind of circumstances that might leave a haunting in their wake. From what I've been able to find, it was during the 1980s and 1990s that Cold Christmas Church became associated with sinister tales of devil worship. Stories circulated about the church being built on a north to south alignment, a sign of an association with the devil, and rumours spread of satanic rituals taking place at the tower. However, I'm not so sure that these claims hold up under scrutiny. The church in fact appears to have been built on the usual east to west alignment adhered to in most church building during the medieval period, with the main altar at the east end of the building. This immediately calls into question the notion that the site is inherently unholy or of any special significance to those practicing dark rites. Reports of vandalism are real, with some relic hunters abusing the site as far back as 1908, and, more recently, graves being dug up and their stones smashed. This, along with the graffiti that covers the tower, including pentagrams and other occult symbols, is more likely the result of thrill seekers influenced by the satanic panic of the 1990s, rather than evidence of genuine rituals. For instance, I found reference in an article to the fact that in the mid-1980s, leaflets were distributed in nearby villages, inviting people to visit the old church at Halloween because it had a satanic connection. But there are no reports of any sabbats, ceremonies, or witnessed rites that would back that claim up. October the 31st became a problematic night for the tower and graveyard during the 1990s. And in 1996, the site saw over 50 cars arrive for what amounted to a macabre party. One reveller questioned on that Halloween said she was there because she had heard people would use the site to sacrifice sheep and throw their heads about, It's supposed to be really scary. My feeling about this is that stories of sacrificial rituals likely stem more from recent urban legend than reality. This focus on devil worship distracts from the true stories of Cold Christmas Church. The site's tragic history, from the abandonment and slow decay of the building to the countless lives memorialised in its crumbling graveyard, is far more poignant. Among the remaining gravestones are tales of great loss. In this one small hamlet, at least 3 young girls died between November and Christmas Day in 1802. How many more might lie beneath the earth here, their names and stories lost to time? I visited Cold Christmas Church earlier this month. It was smaller than I expected, and also more peaceful than I had imagined such a reputedly scary site to be. Above the ever-present rumble from the nearby A10 soared the beautiful songs of a host of birds, flitting between the yew trees, and around the fenced-off tower there was an air of soft sorrow. It occurred to me that Cold Christmas Church is more than just a haunted ruin, more than another destination to tick off the dark tourism list. It is a place of layered history and sadness, a reminder of how fleeting and fragile life can be. Its ghost stories, whether born of legend, tragedy, or overactive imaginations, resonate because, standing here, they remind us of the lives that came before, and that our own too shall pass. So if you get the chance to visit Cold Christmas Church, remember, it's not the devil you'll find here, but the lingering echoes of human lives and losses, carried on the winter wind and etched into the stones of this haunting and hallowed ground. Thank you for coming with me to explore the shadows of Cold Christmas Church. If you've enjoyed this journey, please don't forget to like the video, share it with fellow seekers of the mysterious, and subscribe to the channel. Together, we can uncover even more hidden realms.